Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I think it's interesting because if we take a look at, I'm literally just taking a look now. Like we're talking about this being the start of phase 5, right? This is the big start of phase 5, and I remember at each phase, each movie that was coming out, it was an event, right? Obviously, I had to lay the framework for this discussion piece right now, which is obviously the Ant-Man reviews, and this is relevant. Is that at each point you would look at, each phase, each movie that was coming out was an event. You had to be there day one, pretty much. It was there, right? It was this big thing. And if I'm looking at the trending tab on Twitter in the UK, this film is not trending. It is not trending. It is not being spoken about. Right. And this isn't just for me. This is just trending in general. Right.
Mhm.
If I go to entertainment, for instance, I mean, it's not even in the top 10 of trending. And I think this is indicative of a larger problem that that Marvel has at this point in time, is that they are losing their audience. This is the start of phase 5, the start of the Kang dynasty, or whatever the saga is. I don't bloody know. Multiverse saga, whatever. I don't know what part this is. This is the thing. I don't even know. Like, we knew that it was the Infinity War saga. Like, we knew that. What is the start of this? I don't even know. What is this starting? Do you know?
I don't even know what we're watching.
What?
Are you showing
Ant-Man.
something on screen?
No.
Oh no. Yeah, Paulie just confused me. To answer what I thought your question originally was, I don't know.
It's just a greater discussion on a whole about.
It's supposed to start
You know,
two
this
phase,
phase
two separate universes, is from what we had heard, and that was the multiverse and the cosmic verse, which was originally phase 4 was supposed to be the cosmic verse, and then it became the blah, 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 blah. And yeah, it was just like a muddled mess. That it was kind of the multiverse, but not the saga itself. But it danced around with shit in there, and then now we're getting even more of that stuff. I thought we were getting to the end of it, so that's where I'm just like, I'm like, get me to the cosmic stuff. Get me past this multiverse stuff. I'd rather see the other thing.
Get me to the verse where you're actually like entertaining me.
That too. Well, that's why I was like trying to think more cohesive, because at least if they get to the cosmic, you've got the Fantastic Four, you've got these other things you can do stuff with, Silver Surfer and stuff like that. So like Galactus and so on. Like there's things you can do here, but it just feels like they've lost their way somewhere along the way. Again, between the wokeness and piling on of the connected universes, I don't know what else to chalk it up to, but yeah.
Well, I think what it was a lot of people were genuinely done after Endgame. They started to see the elements that were being pushed in, because they happened prior to Endgame. Captain Marvel was prior to Endgame, and everyone got duped into watching it. It's really important because it really sets stuff up for Endgame. You really need to watch it. So people
Not
did,
really.
and then they're like, "What the fuck was this?
Mm.
What? Like, what? Blatant lie? Cheers, Feigster."
Kind of like the second Ant-Man movie, like nothing tied into Endgame except for the end credits scene, and you're like, well, they could have put that at the end of it, at the end of the other film, and it's like, what the hell is this? This is, I mean, I didn't hate the second Ant-Man movie, but again, it felt more like with Captain Marvel, like, what about this am I supposed to get out of this that I'm missing here? And I did miss out on a large portion of the last few movies that came out last year, and I don't feel like I missed out on anything. I didn't see Shang-Chi. I didn't watch all of the Eternals. I've seen a few scenes of it, but enough of it to know that it's garbage.
That shit was boring, man. I fell asleep. Like, it took me so long just to finish watching it, and I was like, I don't care about anything in this film.
I legitimately almost fell asleep in the theater to that film. If it wasn't,
I bet.
I could see why.
I promise you. If it wasn't for the popcorn, the drink, and the nachos that I had, all right, I would have fallen asleep. But because I did almost fall asleep at one point. Like, I'd finished my food and I was sat there and I'm like, oh my God, like, because normally if it's a real bad film, I buy lots of food. So I've always got something to focus on if it starts to lose me, because I want to pay attention. I want to give it a fair review. So I always try to have
keeps you awake.
Exactly. It keeps me busy. Keeps me busy doing something whilst I'm watching. Eat food, watch. Oh yeah, like I can stay. But I just finished and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, it's still going. And at one point, It was just towards the end. I went, as you sort of nod off and wait
Caught
back up,
yourself nodding off, yeah.
Damn. And everyone was sighing and huffing in the theater of what little people there were there. Oh god,
that's not a good sign.
It was so boring. Well, it was so
compared to something like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which came out like the year before or whatever it was, or whatever. People were walking out of that movie crying, and you could tell they were really into the movie throughout the whole thing, and it was. It was a great experience. Same thing with Spider-Man. People were cheering and hooting and hollering and even getting up and stammering in some spots, like that when Andrew Garfield saved what's-her-face, MJ, the whole fucking theater just erupted.
There was a lot of eruption scenes in that movie, like, and then when the 3 Spider-Mans are doing their heroes swing, oh, that was sick. That was sick. And then we got this.
But exactly, this is the thing, isn't it? Where's the hype? Where's the interest? We're 10 days out, right? Because it releases the 17th or something like that.
There's like less interest for this than there was Avatar, but I mean,
oh my god, I can't believe you just said that.
Oh goodness, but
you actually gave Avatar a compliment. It's like a backhanded compliment.
No, anyway. At least I did see some Avatar stuff here and there. Like, there's very, very little.
This is true.
Well, and Avatar is making money. Is this thing going to make any money?
Well, seriously? What's the budget for this? Do we know what the budget is?
I think it's in the. Film? Let me look. I think it was $250.
I was gonna say it's got to be roughly.
Yeah, and that's before the reshoots.
I got a bad feeling about this, man.
Oh yeah,
Star Wars guys. People in the chat, you think it's gonna make any scratch? What's going on?
Well, so I was gonna say Black Panther barely made money. Like that would have struggled to make money.
200 million is what they have here listed.
That movie didn't make any money. You put inflation in, get out of here, man. Wakanda forever. It made no money.
No, it would have made some. Well, we're talking like millions, tens of millions, not a lot, but it would have made some money. Very, very minimal, but some money. It would have.
Nope. Don't believe the hype.
No.
Technically, if you think about it, I was going to say Wakanda Forever actually made less money than Doctor Strange.
Correct.
If you look at it.
But it made some money, is the point. What? You can't say it made no money. I'm happy to call it.
Why are you shilling for Wakanda, dude?
Fuck off. I hate that fucking film.
I'm going to have to lean with Paulie here that I'm not so sure it barely broke even, I'd say.
I'm just saying, man, for inflation and
because you figured $250 million budget and it only made 800 some million at the box office. They only get to keep roughly half that if they're lucky.
And you say you account 250 for marketing as well.
That's you got to add in. Yeah, I didn't even add that in. That's what I'm saying. I haven't even added in the marketing and all that stuff yet. So like, I don't think if they're lucky, they broke even, but that's about it. I mean, they're pushing the shit out of it on Disney Plus right now and through the movie club and stuff like that in the video.
Yeah, maybe.
But
anyway,
I'm not saying it's going to lose money, but I'm not so sure it's necessarily anywhere near the making a bunch of money for them either.
Oh, yeah,
but also too, it's like you compare it to its first movie. It was a huge.
It's an utter failure compared to the first film.
Huge failure. Absolutely
huge. Yeah.
So
monumental.
What about this? Okay, all right. We'll give you the high ground, whatever you call it. So is this movie going to make any money? What say you?
I don't think so. I think it's going to struggle because I think they're losing people with the thing is that there's nothing unique about this movie from anything else that we've seen recently. So like you've got the elements of the Doctor Strange stuff, right? So the multiverse realm all looks the aesthetical elements all looks the same. These movies are sold on the characters and actors playing them. Paul Rudd's not really a draw, but they're also sold on the aesthetic value as well. The wow factor, wow, what can we see here? Wow. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is sold on quite a few things. Charismatic Chris Pratt. You, of course, have the fact that they're in outer space, which was big wow at the time, and obviously the musical element and the fact that it was very different. This is same. From everything that we've seen recently, it's all the fucking same. So I don't think this is a draw. I think that's the reason why no one is talking about it. Again, the world premieres just happened. And it's not trending on Twitter in any of the tabs.
Nope.
In entertainment, in trending, for me, even for me, right? Like this is the stuff which I search for. It's not even trending for me. So that's indicative of literally no one talking about it, which isn't a good sign. So no, I don't think this will make money.
You know, someone said in the chat, Luis is a funny character. I mean, if they were smart, they would have the Luis multiverse. That would be the shit with the van and Banatolos.
He needs his own show, period, right?
That's what I'm saying. But they're too afraid to like lean into that stereotype. It's like,
yeah,
all right, America Chavez.
Well, let's
name more America Chavez. There you go.
Well, Quantumania also has the baggage of, okay, like Doctor Strange had the baggage of, if you did not see WandaVision, you're going to be completely freaking lost going into that. Are we going to have the same problem here with Quantumania if we haven't seen all of Loki? Because I only watched one episode. I know how it ended. I watched like bits of the last episode, and that's where I saw Kang before, and I'm just like, I'm not a big fan of this character. I don't get why we need this character now. We've already had this multiverse stuff now for how many films? And
yeah.
Basically since the end of Endgame, because that's supposedly what started it all or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So yeah, I don't think it's going to make any money.
As far as making money, yeah. None of the first two are the lower end of the Marvel films. So I don't see this doing any better. Add in the fatigue we're getting from Marvel right now. I'm not going to say there's a superhero fatigue, but there's definitely Marvel fatigue.
Yeah, I don't think it's not about it's bad movie fatigue. It's same homogenous fatigue. That's
right.
what it is. It's what it comes down to.
And I want to find that fatigue. And I want to find that thing I had. If somebody has it, please send it to me. I had this and I lost it, but I had this like it was a chart that came out during when Love and Thunder came out. And it showed the amount of stuff that we had in phase 1, 2, 3, and 4 in comparison. And as you could see in comparison, phase 4 had as much stuff in it as phase 1, 2, and 3 put together. So it's like we've had this excess of garbage from phase 4. And it's like, of all the things that we had in that phase, there's only 1 or 2 things you can really point at and say, oh, that was okay, compared to phase 1, 2, or 3, which was like maybe 1 or 2 things in all those phases that you would say weren't that great in comparison. Yeah. So again, it was more like quantity over quality in phase 4, basically.
I mean, I have such a fatigue over just what you said that I can't take it, guys. I cannot take any of this shit.
Well,
it's just, I'm so frustrated. I'm going to cry. It's like,
well, like I'll save you.
What is this? I'm supposed to be happy and excited about like the next thing. I mean, maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Maybe. But what else is there? Mr. H, tell me. What else is there? Come on, tell me. Give me something.
No. Go. Dry your eyes.
And I almost don't even consider Guardians of the Galaxy part of the broad Marvel universe anymore. They were almost like guest stars in the Endgame thing, and their stuff is still kind of off in its own pocket
this is
universe.
The last one anyway, so they're done.
You're on point.
Exactly.
And then James Gunn's leaving? Get out of here, man.
Yeah.